Greetings, interwebs. We're here to talk today about a movie put out by Amazon Studios and actually put in the real big boy theater. Elvis and Nixon. Now this film features a sweating and anxious Nixon played by Kevin Spacey and a insecure yet somehow narcissistic and manipulative Elvis played by Michael Shannon. And if you could get past the fact that these two people look nothing like the folks they're portraying, it is an excellent movie. If you close your eyes and listen to Kevin Spacey, he is Nixon. I mean, it's just, that's it. He laughs like Nixon, he talks like Nixon, he moves like Nixon. He just looks nothing like Nixon. Guess you can't hear him moving, but that's sort of beside the point. I mean, it's almost as if they played Nixon's voice and had him act to it. It is that level of perfection on Kevin Spacey's part. Now, Michael Shannon, if they didn't call that dude Elvis, I wouldn't have known. If they didn't flat out say, this is Elvis, I wouldn't have, I mean, it's like I was familiar with the historical event, but leading up to that, I would not have realized that this was supposed to be Elvis, because he doesn't look a thing like Elvis. When Elvis did this particular, because it's based on a true story. When Elvis did this thing in history, when Elvis went to go see President Nixon, he was a lot younger, or at least younger looking than Michael Shannon. And although he was heavier, Elvis was at the time, he probably spent a little more time worrying about his appearance than Shannon. So Shannon looks nothing like Elvis at the time. And to make things a little worse, Shannon does not sound much like Elvis. It's a very different voice structure, not one I've heard before. Doesn't have that richness that you're used to with Elvis. Now, again, it shows Elvis as a human being, a person with, a sense of entitlement, but also a sense of self that we didn't get before. A sense of, I don't know, an understanding that he's lost something with fame. And you have to decide yourself if you like that. Now, I was never a big Elvis fan. I think I've maybe seen Jailhouse Rock, one of Elvis' movies. I think that's one of Elvis' movies. It was a long time ago. I know my mother loved him. But I always loved Elvis' music. It had a very distinct style to it. And so I enjoyed this movie. I think it was a solid film. Was it a great movie? No, it wasn't. And you could even say that the idea of bringing these characters out of themselves permitted you to view this from a fresh angle. You're not seeing what you think of as Elvis. You're seeing what this person wants to give you of Elvis. But again, I mean, it took me a long time to get past the fact that I'm looking at someone who looks nothing like Elvis. And it took me a long time to get past looking at Kevin Spacey being Nixon. I mean, yeah, they both do an interesting job, one stronger than the other, but again, you have to ask yourself, can I get past that? And that's the question here. Is this a wonderful movie? No, honestly it isn't. I was entertained, I enjoyed this movie, but I love history. So if you love history, you want to see more about this film, I would definitely recommend it. If you're more into big explosions, attractive women, and a more modern setting, probably not for you. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite historical film? I'd love to hear from you. I'm Richard.